Hello all for a very special, and I actually mean very special, and very unexpected review that I am doing today. Because, well, it happened purely by chance. I was talking, I don't want to go too much into details about where I work, but I was talking to someone who I work with on in the fairly large place that I work, because we both work odd shifts, so we got to know each other even though we're in very different departments. And he had a friend, and his friend, well, pretty much, well, he homebrews and he does moonshine in the traditional fashion here in Hawaii. And that's not a kolehau, but because a kolehau is tea leaf, but this is what is known in Hawaii as swipe, which is made from fruit. And swipe can refer to either the sort of Hawaiian pruno, basically fruit juice that has been fermented, which is completely legal to do. The fermented fruit juice that has been turned into moonshine, or the mixture of the two. And I have no idea what this is. I don't think it's the pure moonshine, because I think that stuff is clear, but it might be, and it doesn't smell like pure moonshine either. I took a whiff of this already. He says it's apple. We're going to see if he's correct, because he kind of just went into his friend's refrigerator and poured himself a bit of a mason jar of it. He says that this amount should get me pretty well messed up, but I'm a little bit doubtful of that. ABV, no clue. Provenance, somewhere in the back of Palolo Valley. Yeah, somewhere in the back of Palolo Valley. This is where this was made. If you're from Hawaii, you'll get why I'm smiling and laughing. And look, it has this nice cover on it that says cow. Smells of kind of mildly solvent-like, very fruity. I'm going to be pouring it into a Don Ho glass, Don Ho's grill glass, because I think that it actually fits. And let's just start with a single finger here, in case it really is super strong. Coloration is apple juice colored, not very cloudy, looks like it's been filtered a bit. And let's hope I don't go blind, eh? This appears to be straight swipe, so it doesn't. I don't think any distillation has occurred with it. It tastes very sweet, as if not all the sugars were used up in the fermentation process. But the fermentation process was pretty quick, because it tastes a bit stronger than wine. It tastes almost like maybe. So, slightly boozy burn in the back. Let's say about 20% alcohol. So, tastes like apple juice, and it is, despite the kind of sharp tang it's got, it actually tastes really smooth. Kind of appley, some vanilla notes. This actually is, it may be more than 20%, because it's actually starting to go straight to my head. It might just be that there's a lot of sugar in this. This is really thick mouthfeel. Yeah, I'd say definitely, probably closer to 30%, right? So, probably slight, some distillate was poured into it. So it's almost like a liqueur, I would say. Slightly less thick than a liqueur. definitely more than 20%, and you know, but not as high as 30% because there's no immediate burn. It's sort of a slight burn as it goes down. Not overly complex, but for something brewed out of glass bottles and cans in the back of Pololo Valley, it's quite drinkable, I'd say. Wow, this definitely does kind of go straight to the head, man. Huh. Now, what was I thinking about? When I say apples, I mean more like, you know, kids' apple juice rather than apple cider. Well, I'm kind of blotting out. I'm kind of losing vocabulary. So, this definitely does drink pretty well. I think I'll just pour the rest of it out here. Might as well, eh? Will this be enough to last me for the night? Nah, I'll probably have a couple beers after this. I'm also drinking on a full stomach too, so your mileage may vary. But yeah, moonshine. Well, Hawaiian version of moonshine, and sort of a mixture of fermented fruit juice and moonshine. Hawaiian swipe. My first experience with swipe, and I'd have to say, unlike most people's experience with swipe, a very pleasant experience, I must say. Though we'll see tomorrow with how much of a hangover this causes, you know? So again, to reiterate, kind of an off smell, but honestly, a lot smoother and a lot better tasting on the palate than I would expect for something, like I said, brewed in the back of Pololo Valley. So I wouldn't say this is like a kolehau. It's not pure liquor. I wouldn't say this is like fermented fruit juice. I'd say this is more like a homemade sort of liqueur almost. Not overly complex, but nicely pleasant to drink. Let's stick that in the light here. This particular one is apple. I've heard that the most common flavor of swipe is pineapple, but apparently this guy had apple juice on hand, so he made apple. Like most moonshines, it's made with basically anything you have on hand, which is fermentable and or distillable. And it is attracting fruit flies in my room. That's how sweet smelling it is. Very sugary. I don't really have much else to say about this, and I don't really have a way of telling you to get your hands on this, even if you live in Hawaii. I guess make friends with some mokes who live in the back of valleys and like to go and do crazy things. You know what I mean? That is your Hawaiian moonshine review. Well, sort of moonshine. I guess it is moonshine because this stuff is illegal. Review for the day. Cheers. And aloha kako.